accused of molesting the children he babysat. We're live at the courthouse.
El Cajon Police, County Crime Stoppers, and a family need your help solving a cold case disappearance.
With price hikes and supply shortages of eggs at local grocery stores, I talked with a local egg farm in Lakeside about how they're being impacted.
And we have a holiday throwback from 2010 when Ricochet the Surf Dog paddled out as Santa Paws.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
Tonight, we're getting a first look at the man accused of molesting 3 kids he was babysitting. He was in court for the first time today. Good evening. I'm Jesse Pagan in for Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. 22-year-old Zane St. Julian was arrested by San Diego police and is now facing 6 felony counts related to child molestation. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes was in the courtroom today. She joins us live now with the details. Kirsten?
Yeah, Zane St. Julian was an independent contractor for Sitter City. It's an app that connects parents to local caregivers in our area. St. Julian says he is innocent of all charges against him, but prosecutors say he used that app to find and then hurt his victims.
There are 3 victims in this case, and with there being 6 counts and the multiple victim allegation attached to each and every one, he's facing 90 years to life.
San Diego Deputy District Attorney Chantal Desmarais says 22-year-old Zane St. Julian was arraigned on 6 felony counts for molesting 3 children he was getting paid to babysit.
With the type of conduct that the defendant is charged with, there's 3 different actions with one child, 2 different actions with another, and then a separate one for the third.
Sitter City, the app where St. Julian was a contractor, sent this statement to CBS 8 that says in part, quote, Mr. St. Julian had been active on the Sitter City platform since June 2019, and prior to this incident, Sitter City never received any complaints about him. Since joining Sitter City, 11 background checks were completed on him, with none identifying any criminal history. The statement goes on to say once they received a complaint about St. Julian, they immediately removed his profile from their app and notified any family with whom he had contact. San Diego police say the incidents happened between July and December this year. The children are not related, and all families found St. Julian on the Sitter City app that connects parents with local caregivers.
But Mr. St. Julian was just arrested a few days ago, and so he hasn't had a chance to scrutinize and assess what these claims are. He's a young man. He's only 22 years old. By all accounts from the people that I've spoken to, whether it's family or friends, he's been a stand-up young man, very pro-social, very academic-oriented.
St. Julian's attorney, Dan Green, says he maintains his innocence.
He's happy that he's going to have an opportunity to assert his innocence, that he's pled not guilty, and that he's going to have an opportunity to put on his defense.
The judge provisionally denied bail. That means they'll be back in a courtroom on December 28th for bail review. We're hoping to get more of an idea of what his defense is going to be because he pled not guilty. And SDPD says there may be other victims out there. If you know anything, please call police. Reporting live for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
All right, Kirsten, thanks. An investigation is underway tonight into a 4-alarm fire that started inside of a downtown high-rise. The fire was reported just after noon at the corner of Imperial Avenue and 14th Street. Fire crews say it started up on the 10th floor, and it took them about 20 minutes to put out the flames. The City of San Diego Homeless Response Center is listed as one of the building's tenants. We are learning more tonight about a shooting involving Chula Vista police in a Walmart parking lot. It happened Sunday night on Broadway near Oxford Street, where police received reports of a man hitting a woman. When they arrived, they say 32-year-old Bradley Monroe came toward them with a knife and ignored orders to drop it. That is when an officer shot Monroe. He died at the scene. The San Diego Police Homicide Unit is investigating the shooting.
Tonight, El Cajon police are asking for your help to solve a cold case involving a teenager from La Mesa. Earlier this week, we told you investigators think someone murdered 19-year-old Jamie Peters in 1988. CBS 8's David Goffredson reports on this true crime mystery.
19-year-old Jamie Peters lived with his family on Lemon Avenue in La Mesa. It was the 1980s. He loved working on Volkswagens, attended prom with his girlfriend, and graduated class of '87 from Helix High School. His sister Cameron was just 8 years old in 1988 when Jamie went missing.
My brother is more than just a picture of someone on a missing poster.
On September 2nd, 1988, Jamie Peters moved out of his family's home in La Mesa. When he left, he handed his mother the keys to the house, and Cameron never saw her brother again.
My brother was a grandson, was a son, and he was an older brother. He was someone who was very loved. And it's been a nightmare to live without him for over 34 years now.
Jamie moved in with a roommate to this apartment complex on Peach Avenue in El Cajon. He only lived there about 10 days.
He wasn't seen or heard from until a few months later, when his stripped-down vehicle, this Volkswagen Bug, was found on Mussey Grade Road up in Ramona. Take a look and see if it sparks any memories for you. See if it looks familiar.
I spoke with Jamie's sister, and the family believes he may have been involved with drugs. Police have chased down several leads, speaking with friends and neighbors, but nothing. More than 3 decades later, his sister believes Jamie is dead, but his remains could still be found if somebody with information comes forward.
I know that he will never come back and be right beside me ever again. I know that he was murdered. My hope is that we can bring his remains home and find answers to find out who murdered him.
If you have any information about what happened to Jamie or where he might be, call El Cajon Police. Or you can remain anonymous and call Crime Stoppers. You could be eligible for a $1,000 reward. In El Cajon, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
You may want to trade in your ugly Christmas sweater for short sleeves and shorts this Christmas.
It's getting warmer this holiday weekend. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Jay was here early with a first look at the microclimate forecast. Carlene?
No, I'm stubborn. I'm just going to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to sweat it out because it's Christmas. I got the ugly Christmas sweaters nice and ready. And when you take a look at our forecast, you're going to see why we're talking about maybe wearing short sleeves and a t-shirt, because we got warmer temperatures as we hit Christmas. So we're going to be warming up all the way into Christmas Day. That's when we're expecting the peak of the heat. 76 degrees will be the high for the coast on Christmas Day, as well as talking about a return to those 80s. 82 degrees looks to be the high across inland regions by Christmas Day. We are warming up, all in response to an area of high pressure that's going to be building in over our region. Now, this isn't the first time, as I mentioned yesterday, that we've been in the 70s when it comes to Christmas Day. Back in 2020, we were at 73 degrees. These temperatures that we're expecting for this weekend put us about 10 to 15 degrees above seasonal. We're not talking about a record for downtown, but we could see some of those popping up across Southern California. We'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast, because there's also going to be quite a spectacle and show right along the coast over the next few days too. Jesse?
All right, Carlene, thank you. Meantime, the winter storm that's bearing over much of the U.S. right now is giving people a hard time trying to get to their holiday destinations. Thousands of flights across the country, mostly in the Midwest and the East Coast, are delayed or canceled. People flying out of San Diego say they're already feeling the frustration, though.
We got here at 11, plane boarded at 3, so I was like, it's Christmas time, a lot of people coming. And then as soon as we get our tickets, it says push back to 5.
AAA says more than 113 million people will be traveling throughout the next few days, most of them by car. If you're heading to the airport, though, you can check your flight status on the help button on CBS8.com. Gas prices, though, are down tonight for the 41st consecutive day. The average for a gallon of regular unleaded in San Diego County is $4.42 tonight. That's down a penny from yesterday and 8 cents from $4.50 a week ago.
A warning tonight not to drink and drive this holiday weekend. Starting tomorrow night at 6, the CHP will begin its maximum enforcement period. All available CHP and officers from other agencies will be out looking for drunk or impaired drivers. They'll also be on the lookout for people speeding and committing other traffic violations.
The right to an abortion is now officially part of California's state constitution. Voters passed the measure last month, and with the election results now verified, it's all become law.
But some state lawmakers say their work is just getting started. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has more tonight on what comes next.
Californians were already allowed to legally get an abortion before this measure was passed. This measure is for the future, so that if a future legislature comes in that's more conservative, they can't just change the Constitution. The California Future of Abortion Council, which is made up of over 40 statewide organizations and lawmakers, knew Roe v. Wade was going to be overturned. It's why the council was created.
We really wanted to make sure that any future legislature or any future court decision will not impact our rights here in California.
In addition to their help passing Proposition 1, they also gave the legislature 45 recommendations to turn into law.
Passed a 15-bill package that allocated over $200 million in the state budget to really support not just abortion access, but also sexual reproductive health care.
This new session, they have 16 more recommendations for the state, including investing in a diverse abortion provider workforce and increasing training opportunities for historically excluded communities from healthcare professions.
This is a sad development from the point of view of the pro-life community, but it is a reminder that our work continues. We knew that Roe v. Wade was not going to end abortion, and we know that Proposition 1 is a setback, but it's a reminder of the work that we have to do.
Jonathan Keller is the president of the California Family Council, a pro-life organization. Both councils are gearing up for this new legislative session.
I would really much rather see our state and our big corporations here in California focus much more on expanding and increasing maternal health care resources, whether we're talking about prenatal care, whether we're talking about paid family leave.
A chunk of the 16 new recommendations from the California Future of Abortion Council is to make sure that the $200 million that have already been allocated to this issue are spent correctly, and then to add more money into those programs.
All right, Morgan, thank you. Still ahead tonight, an egg shortage at grocery stores is keeping a local farmer pretty busy.
Plus, copper thieves in action under the cover of night, where this surveillance camera captured them stealing it from an overhead wire.
But first, Congress hard at work tonight trying to avoid a government shutdown.